You're listening to American Sports Talk with Andy and Ari.
Good evening, American sports fans and fans of American sports. My name is Andy Gershman, and I'm once again alongside my friend and co-host, Ari Louis. How you doing, Ari?
I'm doing stupendous.
Wow, stupendous as usual. Have you ever not been stupendous?
Never.
Never?
Every day stupendous day for me, for the AL.
Isn't it a weird time?
It's a really weird time in sports right now.
Is it, Wednesday is the only day in sports where there's no
None of the four major sports, right? No baseball, hockey, basketball, or football.
Technically today also.
Yeah, if you don't want to count the home run derby. Saw a weird article from Jason Stark, former Lewis Line guest, talking about the all-time home run derby team. And I saw McGuire on there, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Was Sosa?
I didn't see Sosa on that list, though, for some reason. But,
Was it Giambino?
This list here is weird. We're going to read out in a moment, and by the way, great show tonight. We're going to have David Doobie pick at 10:30 and Mark Gordon to talk soccer. We really
talk
don't.
What?
Yeah, I whatever. We're going to just ask very general, basic questions. This is more as a learning segment for me and Andy to figure out what happened.
Well,
those kids kept me up every damn night here on Epic 5 Street watching that stupid stuff.
I can imagine. My kids were really into it. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I just have to ask him why the Brits suck in sports.
Yeah,
I took a little heat for that, actually. Did you see that on Facebook?
No, I didn't.
You make one simple statement about a country not doing well in sports, and people from that country don't like it.
Well, and this is their sport, too, so I don't...
It's not like that. And then Andy Murray loses in Wimbledon yesterday to Roger Federer, and I hear, when was the last time the Americans had anybody? I'm like, Pete Sampras wasn't that long ago. I mean... come on. When you think British athletes, who do you think of? Amir Khan? Is he British?
Yeah, he's British. Also, there was a boxer named Prince Nassim Hamed who was very annoying, very taunting-like. I enjoyed Marco Antonio Barrera kicking his ass. Let's see, other British athletes? I don't know.
Yeah.
Mark will have to tell us about that.
Andy, what was that guy's name? Not Andy Rooney. He was on 60 Minutes. Rooney,
he was, yeah.
The guy Rooney from, the soccer guy. I don't know. We'll talk soccer.
There was, who's that guy that's like really famous? Marco something? There's a soccer player?
Polo. You know what you're supposed to say?
I have no idea what was going on with
Gotti Rabinowitz.
Oh, I mean, right. That's right. I remember him. He got married.
I know.
At like 22.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know how a woman agreed, but he got lucky.
He's a lucky guy.
Well, it's
an interesting list because Ortiz, he's had his little issues too.
Yeah, and we always talk about Ken Griffey. He's on that list of all those records, but how come no one ever found out anything about him?
Right. He and Frank Thomas seem to have that. Don't worry about it; they're clean.
Frank Thomas for sure, I believe, because he won 2 MVPs, 93 and 94, and then fell off. Except for 2000, I think he was third place in the MVP voting. But he made that point. He's like, I was flying over everybody, then everyone just passed me all of a sudden.
He was the biggest, I guess you would say, the biggest loser when it came to the steroid era.
Yeah, because people tend to forget about it.
Right. I mean, Jason Giambi is on the list, another guy who's been known to be the comeback player of the year. That is the most unbelievable thing, how you can be a comeback player of the year after you
cheat. And kind of apologized. This is weird. Josh Hamilton is on this list. This is Jason Stark's all-time team, by the way. He was only in one derby. 35 home runs, though.
But no titles.
No titles.
I think you have to win a title. I hate to say it. I know Dan Marino disagrees with me, but you have to win a title.
Yeah, I agree with that. That Mark McGuire, this was in Fenway Park.
That was in Fenway. I remember,
99. Awesome. And he didn't even win the title. Griffey won that year, but McGuire had that streak of like 13 home runs in a row.
Right. Do you remember the scene at home plate at the pitcher's mound with Tony Gwynn, Mark McGuire, and Ted Williams? And I'll never forget that when Ted Williams says, can you smell the wood burning when you hit it?
Right.
And
McGuire said all the time.
And he said, I can also smell my veins burning. But that was a whole other story.
Poor Teddy Ballgame. He was around a cheater. Of course, Gwynn didn't cheat, so at least they had one guy that didn't cheat.
Who?
And what was cool is Ted Williams was very pro African Americans being involved more. He said in his Hall of Fame speech it was a shame that there weren't any. I think he said black managers at the time. Wow. I'm pretty sure it's what it was. Of course, Red Sox last team to put in a black person on their squad in the roster.
That was a big argument I had. It was a very unpopular stance I took one day at Fenway Park. It was the first appearance, I believe, by John Rocker at Fenway Park after his comments. And, as much as New Yorkers and Bostonians hate each other, when it came to John Rocker, they all agreed he was a punk, redneck, Southern, blah, 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 blah. So Rocker comes in to close the game out against the Red Sox. And, of course, we all know that as much as I love the Red Sox, the Braves are my team.
Absolutely.
I stand up to applaud Rocker coming in, and let's just say I was alone. My wife wouldn't even stand up. I think she actually moved away at the time. I stand up, and people start screaming at me, calling me names. And I said, you're sitting in a ballpark on Yawkey Way. There are no bigger racists known to the human race than the Yawkey family. I mean, the Red Sox, it's just, who do you think you are? It was not popular.
It's kind of like when I was in, I believe it was Santa Barbara, or I think it was, they talked about the anti-Israel stuff on campus or Berkeley, and one of the rabbis there was like, it's so anti-Israel that you actually don't notice it because it's just like obvious. It's just there in the wind.
Right, right. It's just there. Right. Exactly. It's the same thing in Boston. But we digress.
All right. Before we dial up our first guest, we get a chat from Errol Ballard. This is past Errol's bedtime. So,
are you sure this is from Errol, or it could be from his nurse?
Right.
Changing him.
Yeah, I have to change the diaper sometimes. But anyway,
Errol, we appreciate you listening. I sure hope that all is well with you.
And we're working on setting up the time and date of the roast. I'll just have to Andy off the air about that because I have to figure out when he's leaving. Because I don't want to obviously schedule the roast after he's gone. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah, all right. No problem.
All right. Hopefully this gentleman picks up. If not, we'll... Oh, here we go. Is that Radio Mike out there?
Yes, this is Radio Mike. How are you?
Radio Mike, you're live on the Ari Louis Live with Ari Louis and Andy Gershman. And where do we get? The Yanks have a pretty good win over the Red Sox for the All-Star break. The Home Run Derby is tonight. You have any picks for tonight for the Home Run Derby?
That Home Run Derby, it really doesn't excite me that much. To tell you the truth, I don't want to be, it's just like, you throw the ball up, you hit the ball over the fence. You've seen one, you've seen them all, so it never really gets me going. And it actually can be very detrimental to players. David Wright, I don't think he won it a couple of years ago, but after that, the rest of the season and the year after that, he just lost his home run power because it changed his swing and he got in a bad habit. And after that, he was not the same David Wright.
And I believe, Radio Mike, this is Andy Gershman. How you doing? I believe...
Okay, good. How are you?
Great, doing great. Raul Mondesi also, I believe, was a quote-unquote victim of the Home Run Derby. So do you think maybe it's not the Home Run Derby, it's just New Yorkers?
It's the swing that really ruins it for everybody.
But he just dodges your New York insult.
Are you going to tell me that when you watch the Home Run Derby and you find out that player A is being pitched to by his middle school coach, that doesn't warm your heart and keep you glued to the TV?
It's a nice thing. I think it was Robinson Cano last year.
Yes.
Actually, I think his father pitched to him, and that was a nice thing also.
Right.
He was a professional player that never made it out of the Dominican Republic.
Right.
But, it has a human interest thing there, which is nice, but...
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think at this point I'm almost getting over all of the exhibition type games. Period. The slam dunk contest. All this stuff. It is what it is, and move on. I'm not even so sure the All-Star game interests me anymore, other than to see who gets snubbed more than anything else.
Wait, the whole home field advantage thing?
The home field advantage thing, I think we can agree from last year, is just a hoax.
Radio Mike, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's amazing. There's this one player, the pitcher for Cincinnati, Cueto, Johnny Cueto. He has a great record. He's pitching great, and he didn't make it to the All-Star game. So, I mean, what's up with that? That's incredibly. I think he doesn't like La Russa. There's some sort of history going back with him. So I think La Russa had the final say in it, so he didn't want him on the All-Star team.
See, could someone explain this to me? Why is Tony La Russa managing this game?
I mean, because the tradition is the two teams that went to the World Series, each their leagues. But Tony La Russa retired. So he's pulling a Magic Johnson, basically.
Well, but what doesn't make sense is in a game that quote-unquote matters,
right,
you have somebody who is not part of the game mattering. I mean, you know, I hate to say it, Tony, but Mike Matheny should be coaching this. If you want to just stay with the teams, it is Mike Matheny, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I tell you, I don't have much of a problem with it because it's an exhibition game, and he did win the World Series. So it's really not the current manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the guy who won the World Series, and he did win the World Series.
Yeah, but it's not an exhibition game because it decides home field advantage.
What's really crazy is that this will determine who has home field advantage in the World Series. I think that's idiotic.
See, I still am of the belief, and people have looked at me like I have 8 heads. I think at the end of the season, the league that came out on top in interleague play should have home field advantage. If you're not going to go by the best record.
You know what I would do? Right.
That's an interesting theory. You know, whoever wins in the interleague play should have it.
The league with the best record. Why not?
Well, I personally like the best record overall because what happens is these teams get the first place, like the Phillies a few years ago, 2 months before the season's over.
Right.
They don't have a reason to play anymore, so they rest their players.
What? No, nobody does that.
So if
Are you
have
saying they're not trying to win?
Well, hey, okay, that's something else. that was Peyton Manning resting. Well, that's a whole other story. But anyway, by the way, someone chatted in and said they didn't like our inside jokes. Well, that's an inside joke to you, listener, because we're going to do the inside jokes, period. But Radio Mike, these pitchers slotted for the starting positions, Verlander and Kane. What do you think? Dickey should have gotten to the Kane and Verlander. That's my pick right now for the Cy Young because of his innings pitch, but not first in ERA. So, what do you think of the pitching selections for the All-Star game?
R.A. Dickey, he's had such an unbelievably great season that you can't say enough about him. I mean, without him, the Mets would be close to Philadelphia in last place. I mean, him and Santana have just really done everything you could ask for the Mets. I mean, he had I think 6 games in total, and he gave up 1 run in 6 games. I mean, you can't get a pitcher who had a better streak than that, maybe even better than Sandy Koufax or anyone. So he's had now he's had 3 bad games. He had 1 bad game against Atlanta. He had 1 bad game against the Yankees. And now the other day he had a bad game against Chicago. But besides that, and it wasn't even that bad a game against the Yankees or Chicago. But, besides that, he's been, unhittable. I mean, for a knuckleball pitcher to be pitching, getting 13 strikeouts in a game, giving up 1 or no walks, it's unheard of. I mean, this is, I think America would love to see this guy pitch.
Yeah, I think he's the American favorite, if you will, the people's pitcher. And they went – interesting because La Russa makes the final decision. He chose Kane. I don't know why necessarily he chose that. I figure La Russa likes to match up and mix up pitching formulas, if you will. So he figured he'd be a fan of R.A. Dickey.
Well, Kane did have that perfect game, so I guess he's going with that.
Right.
And, okay, Verlander – here's another thing, too. It's Rob Washington who is managing the AL side. You go with Verlander. You could have maybe gone with the Ranger. I don't know. Maybe that would have been a bit of a stretch. I don't see Darvish starting, but you could have. I don't know. I'd be curious. It's always interesting. These managers. Do you want to put your players out there so they can get the love and the attention, or do you want to rest them?
Well, Davey Johnson. He was so happy that Bryce Harper wasn't on the team, and then, of course, Harper gets in as a replacement.
Right.
Because he's concerned that, he's a kid. I mean, he's never played this many games ever, and he wanted him to
Yeah,
sit
but I mean,
down.
for him to play, get one at bat there, and get, I mean, what would be the harm in that? I mean, I think he's getting a little bit overprotective. I think it makes a difference if the guy's pitching on 2 days rest and he's throwing 1 or 2 innings out of sequence. A pitcher, I think I'm more worried about a pitcher throwing out his arm or straining himself, not being ready for his next start, than really a position player. Even though I'm a firm believer that these position players that are playing 6 out of 7 days every day in the summer, they could use 2 or 3 days off just to relax and not have to go to beautiful Kansas City to play a game.
Well,
I mean, for a pitcher, I think you should be more overprotective than of a player.
It's not so much the one at bat from a hitter. I think to me it's the traveling. You're traveling in the middle of the United States, and then you got to travel back. That stuff adds and adds. I remember in '99 when the game was in Atlanta and Glavine was, I believe, the starter for the National League, or at least pitching the game. He said he liked the fact that he got to sleep in his own bed. So if you take the traveling out, it's not such a big deal. But I do agree with you that pitching is certainly more serious than hitting. Speaking of the '99 All-Star game, Pedro Martinez really went down in the second half because he struck out, I believe it was 6 people in 2 innings. It really hurt his arm in '99, and still won the Cy Young because his first half was so dominant. I think he had 15 wins in the first half. So I agree with you there. But Radio Mike, let's go to Bernie Williams. He did a little managing. What do you think about in the future about manager Bernie Williams of the ball club out there somewhere?
I don't think Bernie Williams is really managerial type. I think he was happy playing his guitar. I never really got a feeling that he was really a smart ball player. He was
I agree.
A great ball player. He had good speed, but he was never known for running the bases. I don't think, listen, I'm a Bernie Williams fan, so I don't want to say too many bad things about him, but he also had a reputation that in the middle of the game in the outfield, he would daydream, and sometimes he would break very late on the ball because he was dreaming. And, he is a human, and he's not going to be. One guy who might be a good manager one day, and that will be probably in about 10 years when he retires, would be maybe Derek Jeter.
I don't know. Jeter, I think, would fall into that great players problem. I think the demand and expectation, I don't think anyone could ever live up to him.
Jeter only takes 9 days off a year, I believe. So, I mean, of course, after the game, he parties his what off, but he would expect the players.
Actually, if you must know, I am in. I do make furniture for restaurants and sometimes nightclubs. And I do have information on Derek Jeter that when he would go out partying, and I know some restaurants he went to, they always said he was very much in control. He had a good time, but he didn't party his you-know-what off.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
They did mention to me about other players who did party their you-know-what off, but Derek Jeter really he took care of his body and didn't overdo it.
Okay, because remember, in 2002, Steinbrenner called him out for partying too much, but
that could have been George being George.
I think that he was doing too many advertisements. He was making too much money.
And then they did a commercial together, by the way, for a Visa card, talking about them both going out and having a good time. But it's interesting if Jeter, because Jeter would expect all the players to only take 9 days off throughout the entire year. That might be his problem. But going back to Bernie Williams, I remember there was some play where he struck out, but the ball went behind the catcher, and he didn't run to first. He kind of was daydreaming or something and just kind of walked back to the dugout. And the guitar thing and all that stuff, he does seem a little aloof. I mean, right now you have Girardi as manager, who was a former player. It seems, but he was a catcher. It seems like the catchers make pretty good managers. Brenly of the Diamondbacks, when they won the title, he was a former catcher. Because you're basically managing the game. You're managing the pitchers.
See
Posada, maybe.
Well, Joe Torre was a catcher.
Right.
And a lousy man.
Many catchers turned out to be good managers.
Right.
When you get good players.
Well, we were talking about the other day, Radio Mike. Let's get your thoughts on this. Joe Torre was nicknamed Clueless Joe when he came to the Yankees and did not have a good tenure as Mets manager, Cardinals manager. So was it just the players that got him those 4 World Series titles?
Yeah, you could certainly make a case. He also was manager for the Atlanta Braves.
Right.
He really never did a great job till he had good players. The one thing that I think he was very good at with the Yankees is he was able to manage these crazy personalities.
Right.
Because, you had Darryl Strawberry and you had this one. And
Jose
that one.
Canseco's on the 99 team, too.
And he knew how to handle them, and I think he got compliments for that. But he made some huge strategic mistakes in the World Series and playoffs against Boston and stuff like that. And it cost him the World Series in 2003 against
the Marlins. Yeah, people forget about that one.
He had a choice of bringing in Mariano Rivera or bringing Weaver. So he was saving Mariano because it wasn't a save situation extra innings. And then, of course, Weaver gives up a home run, and then the Yankees end up losing the World Series in 6 games.
Yeah,
but,
that was sad.
But he knew how to manage people rather than players.
Well, and that's just like you see with I think the most underrated part of Eric Spoelstra down in Miami with the Heat. I think that that shouldn't go unnoticed. I think there certainly is something there to it. And with Torrey, he had Jeter, and Jeter, he didn't
kind of like a manager of the field.
Yeah, he didn't have to say much. I mean, Torrey was also known for just ruining. You mentioned the one move with Rivera. His relievers, he always kind of mismanaged the bullpen. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's got a lot of rings, and he's working for the Major League Baseball now. So.
Yep, good for him.
Radio Mike, Yankees up 7 over the Orioles. It seems like they'll be tough to catch for the division title, but we were talking about if they're built for the postseason or not. Part of the problem is they don't seem to hit well with men on base.
They don't have hits. They can hit the home run.
They just hit the home run. So they go home run shy. There'll be a bit of trouble. We know the Eddie Pettit, CC Sabathia on a DL right now. I'm sure they'll come back. But they're a weird team. They have a plus run differential of 65, which is second to the Rangers in all the major leagues. Second to the Rangers. So what do you see for them down the stretch? They're put up the numbers, but it's through the home run. So
I think they're going to focus, and hopefully, they just don't go for just the home run ball. I think they're going to end up hitting better in situational hitting with runners on, in scoring position. I think they're like almost in the bottom of the league.
Right.
So maybe they'll improve a little bit on that, and I think their pitching is really, really solid. They have some good relief pitchers, even without Mariano Rivera. And their starting pitching is good. So, I don't know. They're always a strange team, and certainly, they're getting older this year. And your good friend A-Rod is just really, really showing his age. But somehow they get clutch hits when they need to, and I don't know. They certainly have as good a chance of winning the World Series and winning a championship as anyone else.
All right. Last couple minutes here with Radio Mike. Let's talk about Dwight Howard. It seems like he's going to the Nets. If he's leaving the Orlando Magic, but that seems like a pretty good possibility. What do you think? Pretty good setup they have over there. You have Deron Williams coming back, despite not that huge contract. Looks like he's not going to the Mavericks. And you got, of course, Joe Johnson. Can they really afford Dwight Howard at this point?
Well, they have to. They have a new arena, in Brooklyn. So they have to make a big splash there. If they have just a horrible team, the fans aren't going to come out. They'll come out for maybe a couple games, and then it'll be another fiasco like they had in New Jersey. So they really do have to make a statement there, and they have to, they have to put together a good team, and they have the money behind them, so that's not a problem. So, and with Williams coming back, he's really sacrificing a lot. I think he's getting paid $19 million a year, which is the maximum. So I don't really see too much of a sacrifice on his part coming back. So, they can sign, whoever they have to sign, they'll sign just to, get their name on the scoreboard there.
All right, so they definitely have to make something happen because who said that they own the back pages? What was that?
It was the owner.
Or
the GM or something.
The Russian mafia owner, or whatever?
Said
Right,
that.
yeah.
But come on, Radio Mike, you're a New Yorker. They will always be the redheaded stepchild to the Knicks, right?
Yeah, definitely. The Devils made it to the Stanley Cup final, and New Yorkers didn't even know that they were there. Nobody cared. Everyone was rooted for the Rangers, and once the Rangers were eliminated by the Devils, nobody cared about the Devils. People basically don't care about the Brooklyn Nets. So if you're, even the Jets suffer a lot in comparison to the Giants, but at least the Jets, are people have they have a tremendous fouling, but the Giants are the number one team in football, and the Yankees are the number one team in baseball. The Knicks are the number one team in basketball, and those other teams are just second.
All right, Radio Mike, we haven't had you on the program since Tim Tebow madness. Tebow going to the Jets. I mean, you have Mark Sanchez, but I feel like the pressure of the Jets go 1-2 even. I think you're getting a lot of phone calls to radio talk shows throughout New York City asking for Tebow to be the starter. What do you make out of the situation of Jesus coming to New York City?
I don't know. He is so popular. I mean, and I think he was starting a yoga program last week or something like that, and he got a tremendous following on that. I mean, he's an absolute idol. I mean, people love him not only in New York but around the country. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when Mark Sanchez throws an interception and the whole crowd starts screaming Tebow,
right.
Tebow. What's going to happen then? I mean, I feel sorry for Mark Sanchez, because I mean, if he has any confidence at all, it'd be a miracle at this point.
Yeah, you feel like the writing is on the wall when you bring in Tim Tebow. So, Radio Mike, we got to let you go. Before we do, give us a prediction. I know you don't like the home run derby, but do you have a pick of who's going to win tonight? But I'll read you out the people in it. Jose Bautista for the American League. Jose Bautista, Robinson Cano, Prince Fielder, Mark Trumbo. And then for the National League, Carlos Beltran, Carlos Gonzalez, Matt Kemp, and Andrew McCutcheon.
I kind of like Bautista.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I mean, he leads the American League in home runs last couple years for whatever reason. He's been leading the league in home runs. I know he's represent Canadian.
I hope it's Cano.
And they say he's doing it without steroids, which is amazing, too.
It is amazing.
2-3 years ago, he was hitting like 10 home runs a year. Now he's hitting 50.
Well, he apparently fixed his batting swing in the minors.
Right.
Wake. Yeah.
Chicks love dig the long ball.
Yeah, his trainer helped him out. No, I don't know. We don't know what happened. And if he wants to come on the show, I'll kiss his behind and talk about how great he is. So because it helps sell it out. All right, Radio Mike. It was a lot of fun. We appreciate you being on Louis Live at Israel Sports Radio. We'll try to get you on a bit sooner. It was fun when you co-hosted me back in Israel, and you're coming to Israel in August, right?
Yes, I'll be there in August.
Okay, so you can co-host with me again if you like.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Radio Mike, we'll be in touch. Be well.
All right, thanks.
All right, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a break, but instead of playing commercials, I don't know, because I'm in the mood, we're going to play Tim Tebow, All He Does Is Win. It's a remix.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard
You ever see this? This is really funny. This is DJ Steve Porter who made the song We Like About Randy Moss.
Right.
So,
and
you were being sarcastic. You have seen this.
and Skip Bayless. I'm one of the 3,805,774.
But it's not going to be as good as Randy Moss. But Tim Tebow is so cute in this. So we're going to play this, then play commercials, and we'll continue with more. This is Louis Live on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Kid is a gamer. He's a follower. He's a playmaker and a shot caller. In case you didn't know, I got Tebow. He shattered the mold, and all he does is win. All he does is win games. Listen, I got Tebow. He shattered the mold, and all he does is win. All he does is unleash.
Tell Tebow, let him go.
It's time.
Turn him loose.
Let him play. Let him play
on Sunday.
Unleash.
Tell Tebow, let him go.
It's time.
Turn him loose.
Let him play.
I'm going to church Sunday.
Run pass option. I think that's my game.
I guarantee you that.
I'm no John Elway.
He's rewriting the book. Week in and week out.
He's a unique football player.
That's what Tim Tebow's all about.
He's a gamer. He's a caller. Playmaker. Shot caller. He's a gamer. He's a caller. Playmaker. Shot caller. Unleash.
Tim Tebow, let him go.
It's time.
Turn him loose.
Let him play. Let him
play on Sunday.
And all he does is win. All he does is win.
One more day, one more win.
All he does is win games.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
This is Tamar Cass, and you're listening to Israel Sports Radio.
Shalom from the United States. I'm Gina Pitts.
Parrish Graham.
Mike Pitts.
Roosevelt Hall.
Mike Roy.
We're your friends from the Pro Sports Lives radio show on WAFS Biz 1190 AM. You're listening to Louis Live.
Broadcasting live from Israel. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Sports Strain CC, compression fit, UV protection, moisture wicking, anti-odor, and physique enhancing. Certified by the Circle K. Sports Strains is a revolutionary CC garment that features high-performance properties and a compression fit, offering the wearer ultimate comfort and style for sports and everyday wear. Custom logos and team jerseys are available. For orders, please visit TamirGoodman.com. That's TamirGoodman.com.
Broadcasting live from Jerusalem. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Support Barak Netanya, Israeli professional basketball team, as they give back to the children of Netanya through Netanya Hoops for Kids. Netanya Hoops for Kids serves all of the children of Netanya, especially the ones that need us most. Through basketball clinics held by professional players, at-risk children learn life skills like teamwork, communication, discipline, and community responsibility from real-life heroes. Netanya Hoops for Kids partners with the municipality, schools, and local nonprofits to bring thousands of children to basketball games each season. Join us as a donor, partner, or fan. One city, one team, one family. www.netanyahoopsforkids.org.
The biggest names in sports are all on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event to the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
This is Dimitri Salita, and you're listening to IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Back here on Louis Live, our thanks again to Radio Mike from Kew Garden Hills, who is not a fan of the Home Run Derby, but nevertheless.
You know, I like I said, I think it chalks up there with the slam dunk contest. I think it's just gotten. The only thing with the slam dunk contest is, of course,
it's creative.
It's creative. It's a little different. I mean, Home Run Derby is like. I mean, they've tried National League, American League. Didn't they try U.S. players versus the world or something like that?
Yeah, I remember something like that.
You know, I don't know. Maybe they could do white guys versus black guys. I mean, it's like you can't mix it up, but so much. So what are you going to do with it? You know, and it is just, you know, pitch the ball and listen to Chris Berman sound like a moron.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I think the real key is? I think it's the actual ballpark it's played. Like with Fenway, it kept going into the street. That was a real cool thing to see.
Right.
The one where it was in Baltimore and it kept hitting I think Griffey Jr. hit the warehouse. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That kind of stuff is cool. Kansas City is not an aesthetically pleasing ballpark.
Right. Well,
no disrespect to the Coffin and Coffins and their family, but it's just not a lot there. Except for the water in the back is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
and you, by the way, you could rip on me it's not called Bob anymore.
Right,
Chase Field in Phoenix.
Right. Yeah, if you hit it in the pool.
It wouldn't look so good either. There's only Wrigley Field would be a fun place.
Look, I can tell you, Nats Park, it would just be a home run.
Right.
You know, same with the Braves, a lot of those newer stadiums. But, you know, like you said, you've got, I mean, the Marlins, I don't know, I mean, what would they do with that Marlin thing? Would just keep going back and forth because the thing goes every time it hits a home run.
Right.
So, you know, so I guess that would be interesting.
Maybe
they tried to do, didn't they, like, give away Century 21, give away a house or something?
Yeah. Each fan gets, or not each fan, but every player has one fan. That's how I won that spot. If the player wins, they get a house.
Right.
No pressure.
You know, I think Target did a Hit It Here type of thing with a big Target logo or something. You know, there's all kinds of things they've done, but in the end of the game, it's just a guy standing up there taking batting practice.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so, look, there's also 3-point contests. I don't know, does that interest you at all? I mean, because I find it just like the home run. Yeah, a guy can shoot, so he shoots. I mean, slam
Bird
dunk.
trash talking who's playing for second place. That's fun.
Well,
yeah,
that's
that kind of
fun,
stuff.
but you know what? No one's got those kind of cajoons anymore.
Yeah.
Because they allow them to be teammates in the week. So, it's I don't know. It's kind of weird. I guess I'd like to see maybe.
Also, Bird won that I think that particular one with a buzzer beater.
I guess I'd like to see some brushback pitches in the home run derby.
That would be something.
Can you imagine knock down those couple of guys? The other thing is, the only difference I will give the home run derby is generally speaking, the better hitters do participate. Unlike in the slam dunk contest,
Right.
Where
after Jordan won 2 of them, he was all done.
Right, exactly. And a lot of those guys are done.
Kobe won 1 when he was 18 years old, and then the next year they didn't even have it. They had that 2-ball thing, and then they brought it back, but Kobe didn't come back.
Right, but wait till the
great point.
First guy that that messes up his knee coming down off
All
of
done.
a stupid dunk. That'll be it.
Yeah.
No one will ever participate.
It's amazing that it hasn't happened yet.
Half the guys don't even like to play in the baseball all-star game. They're backing out like crazy. They got hangnails. They got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was talking about in Phoenix, a big deal in 2002 because Randy Johnson was selected to start, and he's like, "Oh, my back, I want to rest." So he was ripped out a little bit because it's supposed to be an honor. They talked about what you're supposed to do is pull a Karl Malone. You show up, you play 2 minutes. And that's it. That's right. Karl Malone. If you looked at his stats of minutes he played in the game, it was 4 minutes, 3, 5, 6 minutes. He showed up, tipped his hat or whatever. Basketball they don't do that. Waved, didn't really play, and that was it.
Right. I mean, look, Bryce Harper. I guess when he was called in the office, he thought they were sending him back to the minors.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were like, "No, you're headed to Kansas City." He's like, "Oh, cool." And off he went. But,
that's a clown comment, bro.
That is a clown comment, bro. Michael Bourne of the Braves replaces Ian Desmond of the Nats. I mean, you got a lot of young players who are eager to go. But then you've got the guys who, Manny never went. Manny always tried to back out.
Huh. You know what they should do?
Speaking of clown comments.
If they don't play in the All-Star game, they should not get their All-Star bonuses. You can at least start there.
Right.
You can't make them go. It's even if it's for the World Series, it's an exhibition game, it's on their contract. But don't pay them the bonus. I mean, part of the idea of them going to the game is goodwill towards the fans who pay their salaries.
Right. And representing the cities that they're play for.
But honestly, as a Boston fan, did you want Manny representing you?
Huh?
Would you want Manny Ramirez representing you?
Look. When he got up that first at bat and he sang and he had that song, "Want to Get High,"
right?
Played. Oh, that was good stuff. I don't know why anyone would think we're ripping on Bryce Harper because
Redskin Faye thinks we are.
What?
Don't cut on Bryce
just because you said that's a clown comment. Bryce is I've said it before. He's rejuvenated the entire city. And I'm glad he'll go, but it'll be interesting. Do you think they'll knock him down, or they'll,
hopefully they'll try to strike him out?
He'll walk and take second while they're messing around.
Is it taboo to steal bases in the All-Star game?
I don't know, or bunt.
You're not supposed to steal bases. I know in a blowout. That's one of those unwritten.
Right,
rules.
that's stupid unwritten. Baseball is so stupid.
The guy's got a contract, like it might be in his stats against about stolen bases or certain, a clause. So he needs to steal bases.
Well, what if Bryce feels like the Nats have a legit chance to make it to the World Series?
Right, and they want to win the game.
And he wants to win the game.
The Nats do have a good chance. I don't want to say good chance, but they
have a chance.
They have a chance as much as anybody.
Right, and better than some. The Red Sox.
All right, let's continue on with the fun. We'll discuss some NBA stuff in a moment with the greatest caller in Louis Live history, NBA Dave. NBA Dave, you're on Louis Live with Andy and Ari. How you doing?
How you doing? It's good to talk to you guys again.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
Oh, good to hear that voice.
What's going on, buddy? Man, your Nets are awesome.
My Nets?
I figured
Did
everybody.
make a baseball reference?
I figure no Nets. I figure
Nets.
Oh, Nets. Oh, Nets. Same thing. Listen, neither of them ever going to see, postseason sports. So what's the difference?
I figured all Knicks fans will now be Nets fans. No?
Oh no. You see, that's where real bandwagon comes into play. And I'm not even talking if they get Dwight or if they don't get Dwight. A Knicks fan, I mean, besides the fact that it's beneath anybody who ever supported a team from New York City to go into the boroughs. Now, don't get me wrong. My wife's from Brooklyn. I hang out in Brooklyn. I love the food in Brooklyn. I love the schools in Brooklyn. But I ain't going to a sports game in Brooklyn. No. You go to New York City. You go to Penn Station, man. You get out over there and you hit up Madison Square Garden. That's where you go see basketball.
Right.
Okay, even if your star player's punching fire hydrants and not giving you a chance to get anywhere, but that's where you would see basketball.
Are you talking about?
That's what basketball history is.
What's going to happen to all these Brooklynites that were Knicks fans?
Nah, they're going to stay Knicks fans. I mean, Knicks fans are going to be Knicks fans. Yeah, they're going to go to watch the Nets because it's going to be cheaper. And it's going to be more convenient. And so when your kid is in yeshiva day school and you finish every day at 6 o'clock, because you got Gemara till whatever, and then, right, and you don't get out like public school schedule, you're going to go to Brooklyn to catch a game because it's easy and convenient. But you're going to root for the Knicks.
What's the difference between a New Jersey Nets New York Knicks game and a Brooklyn Nets New York Knicks game? The intensity and fan base and crowd going to be different?
Oh yeah, I think it will get more intense, the rivalry. There never really was an intensity with the Knicks and the Nets.
Right.
When the Nets were good in the early, 02, 03. I shouldn't say when the Nets were good, when the league was really weak.
That's a great comment. That's awesome.
And Jason Kidd was capable of taking you to the finals.
Right.
In between
the Knicks weren't doing anything then. And when the Knicks had any of the good days in the 90s, and that's why anyway. I mean, I'm not, there was never really a rivalry. The Knicks would come play in the Meadowlands, cool, and I know it was called the Izod Center recently, but, before Knicks jerseys, it was just a cheaper alternative to go see basketball. I think it will change, though. I think with Brooklyn, there were people that will turn over. I think Spike Lee will instigate some stuff. There will be some people, that will make it a little more intense, put some meaning to it. Unless they could compete. Now, I'm not saying that the Knicks are great competitors right now. They didn't, with all the stardom that they have, they really can't compete against Miami. And, Boston's depleted. I mean, forget about Boston. They're done. Sorry, Andy Gershman. But Boston's over.
I think
they can't compete against Chicago or Miami right now.
I think if we roll tape, you said that last year about this time. So don't count the Celtics out quite yet. They do have the Jet coming in. They do have.
I don't know. Let's focus on Jets Patriots. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna go Boston, you focus on the Patriots.
Well, there's nothing to focus on because the Jets are such an inferior product. Let me ask you this: Ray Allen going to the Heat. Now, of course, he was, I guess, insulted. He had, I don't know.
The trade talks. I don't blame him.
Why? It's so ridiculous. It's professional sports, and so, but. Does he make the difference? I mean, does he keep them, right where they are? Does he replace Miller? What is his role going to be?
It's hard to say what Ray's going to do down there. He's getting older. I think he won't get the minutes that he was getting in Boston anymore. They don't need him to have the minutes. I think they need him to be more of, that guy. His name's eluding me right now. A clutch. Give me his name. Come on, one of the Mr. Clutches. I know the NBA has a few of them. You guys help me out. Robert Ory type. Big shot Bob kind of thing. We'll come in and play some end of third quarter, some fourth quarter basketball. I don't think it will go down to just that. Right away. I think he'll still get some minutes, but it's gonna get toned down. He's not gonna play the minutes that the big three are getting.
All right, and the other question for you is Jeremy Lin. I mean, really? Is this hype about nothing, or is this for real?
No, I mean, come on. I listen. I don't believe that he's the franchise player that they were making him into. When he had his good streak, and I said it then. I said you don't win. I said nobody wins championships or even playoff series with people that just came out of nowhere. Okay, and I love Asian people. Okay, they make great Chinese food, but you don't win with a Taiwanese. Look at Yao. I mean, and Yao was great, and he was unique, and he was he was a good basketball player. He really was. But I mean, you don't win championships with him, and he's not even a key. Forget about, obviously you don't win with him. Nobody's ever thought that. But he's not even a key. I mean, you don't base a team around him, and you don't make heavy plans around a guy like Lin. So I didn't buy the hype when they had that, Linsanity era, and I don't see the big deal. I mean, Houston wants him. Okay, let him go to Houston. I don't even know where they're up to with that contract or whatever. But go ahead.
I just
no big deal. That's not the answer to the Knicks.
I just want to take this time to remind everyone that callers do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Israel Sports Radio or Louis Live. No, I understand the jokes, but I'll tell you what, in all seriousness about his Asian descent, Yao Ming was for a while the number one man of jersey sales, and it's a business. And in all seriousness, he could sell the jerseys alone. The money from the jerseys could be worth the contract. So maybe that is an angle the Rockets are going with.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, now you got to talk to good old David Stern. He's the big businessman in the NBA, and I know every franchise is, has interest other than winning titles. And I know it's making money. That's what the owners want to do. And of course, you have to realize Yao, and I just got a 100 on my Chinese culture exam. So I'm going to tell you this: Yao's from mainland China. Okay, he's got about, I think, 1.2 billion fans.
Right.
And Jeremy Lin is from Taiwan. That's a much smaller population.
Actually,
I don't know that the Chinese will root for him.
I think Jeremy Lin's from California, isn't he? I mean, seriously. No, I'm serious. I believe Ari.
We'll double check it. I think he was born in California, but of Taiwanese descent.
Right. Now,
I'll double check that.
The thing is, in the NBA, the players are just too good. Also, like you said,
They'll just the left-handed thing.
Right.
That's part of the reason why he's so successful early.
Born in Los Angeles, California, just as an FYI.
Where did you go to school?
Palo Alto High School.
Pretty famous high school.
Harvard University.
All right, that's what I know he went to big school. I know it's not top stuff like Barry University, but that was a good school.
Right. Well, it was
played against our boy, the Jewish kid Zach Rosen, who won Ivy League Player of the Year. Actually, so he was considered higher than Jeremy Lin.
And of course, Harvard was Ari's backup school.
Right, my safety school here. Actually, it's interesting. Lin is one of the few Asian American in NBA history and the first American of Chinese or Taiwanese descent. So of Taiwanese descent to play in the league. So,
okay.
All right, now let me ask you this. How much do you think Steve Nash means to Kobe, or is this just...
okay.
Is this just...
Now, I want to one of the greatest... Let me cut you over and get straight to shit. So I want to one of the greatest sports minds that I know, Andy Gershman, said one of the greatest lines, and I'm sorry, Andy, but I stole it, and I've said it to everybody. This is a Karl Malone move. And I promise you, and all your listeners, you heard it right here on Israel Sports Radio. The Lakers are not winning a championship with Steve Nash or Kobe Bryant. They're not winning another championship. Kobe's done. Kobe's finished. Okay?
I agree. First of all, whether Kobe's finished or not, Durant and Westbrook aren't. The Clippers are going to be better. The West is not their little picnic for their taking. And I think that, Nash, no Nash, it doesn't really matter. The Lakers cannot figure out what to do with Bynum and Gasol. They have two centers. They don't know what to do with them. They so terribly want to dump Bynum for somebody.
They want to dump Bynum since they drafted
him. And yet,
him.
every time they want to dump him, he comes up with a spectacular game. They lay off of it. Last year it was Gasol. Kobe had to come to Gasol's rescue. I just think that, and to top it all off, they have Mike Brown as their head coach, and I just don't think that's the person for.
Yeah, listen, I said this. I believe I said it on your show before. Kobe should have retired last year or the year before. And gone out on a really high note. I mean, this is, I think the rest of his career is just going to have a lot of hot games, but no ring.
He wants 6.
Right. He wants 6 so bad that he wants that conversation, that Kobe-Jordan conversation.
Yeah, well, guess what? Not LeBron, not Kobe, neither of them are going to have 6. I mean, I don't think LeBron will have 6. He may get a couple.
I don't think LeBron will have 6.
I know Andy's, big believer in that team, but I don't think so.
I think he'll have around 8. You're right. I don't think he'll have 6.
Oh, stop it.
8 and I mean 8 losses.
You can't call why Stevie Nash Karl Malone. I mean,
why? He is.
But I don't know. Karl Malone had 2 cracks at the NBA Finals with the Jazz, and Steve Nash has never gone to the NBA Finals once. Plus, he's doing it for his kids, right? I mean, he can't.
Yeah.
He can't afford to send his kids to New York City back and forth on a plane.
He could have gone to Golden State.
Yeah.
Steve Nash should play hockey.
The Suns fans don't like the Lakers. It's true. There is a little. I mean, it's not much of a rivalry because people in Phoenix fall asleep at like 9 o'clock, so they don't really care.
No, I told you.
But it's the closest thing we have.
It's not a rivalry because when one team is a winner, it dominates. It's not a rivalry.
Although we did beat it twice in the playoffs, 06 and 07, which was cool. But yeah, they've no titles to Los Angeles'
16,
whatever it is. Yeah, 16, and they've been in the NBA Finals every other year since the NBA's existed on average. All right, NBA.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Lakers really are a better franchise than the Celtics when you add up finals appearances.
Excuse me?
Yeah, right. So, and the other moves at the end, Dwight Howard, for sure is leaving the Magic, right?
Oh, I think so. I mean, listen, I haven't been reading all the articles, but I keep seeing headlines where, he's narrowed it down to one team or 2 teams, and, I think he's done with Orlando. Orlando, I don't think he has a future there. They had that good run once. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? I don't think he's sticking around. He wants, his name is almost getting forgotten a little bit. With all this whole postseason that we just had, and with him not being around, towards the end. I mean, I don't think he wants to be forgotten at such a young age.
Let me tell you, the day he's dealt, that scream you hear, that's Stan Van Gundy. Because, I mean, he just got jobbed. And, it's just absurd to think that they would release the head coach and the GM and then lose the player in the end.
Yeah. I don't see him sticking around.
All right, Dave, we got to run. It was great to have you back here on the program, talking to Andy and myself. And have fun. You're going to engagement party right now, or where are you off to?
Yeah, I'm having an engagement party right now. A friend of mine just got engaged, and yeah, I'm just running in and out between some phone calls. But it was great being on, great hearing you guys, and I'd love to get together sometime.
Absolutely, we're gonna get together.
Yes, we will.
A whole month to do it.
All right, that sounds good, and looking forward to see you're getting Jonah ready for his bar mitzvah, so that's nice.
That's right.
And maybe I'm going to be back in the States and during football season, maybe we could get a wrestling game or something.
All right, we'll do. Redskins, Jets. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll be in touch.
Okay. All right,
be well, Dave.
Be well, guys. Great show.
Thanks. All right, there was NBA Dave here on Louis Live. I don't know, isn't it a little different, Steve Nash and Karl Malone?
No, what is the difference? I mean, because the weird thing is Nash facilitated the trade, from what I understand.
Right.
So it's even worse. I guess.
Maybe it's the same.
I just think it's the same. I think it's ring chasing, and I agree. I don't know if Kobe. I don't think Kobe's done, but I don't know that he's got title.
I don't think he has a title left. I think he'll be stuck at 5. Not that that's such a bad place to be stuck at. And as far as legacy, that's for other people to determine about how much he was involved with the Shaq's 3 rings or not. I mean, Shaq obviously the best player of the team then, but they wouldn't have won it without Kobe.
Look, Shaq is, it's one of those things where it's like, let's see, if Kobe couldn't win without Shaq and Wade couldn't win without Shaq, it's kind of a weird, 2 superstars, and it all comes back to Shaq.
Yeah. Well, 7'1", 350 pounds. They don't make that many guys like them. So, and that have some basketball movement. I mean, you had some big guys that tall-wise, height-wise, like Sean Bradley,
George Marathon,
Manu Bol,
rest in peace,
could barely walk. So,
well, now he can't walk at all.
Yeah, it would be hard to. Okay, let's take a break. We're gonna have Mark Gordon on the other line discussing soccer.
I can't wait for this. People, if you have never heard Ari and I
fall asleep,
speak soccer. Is that what you say? Speak soccer?
Yeah, that's good.
Talk about the footy. You're in for a treat.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll just smooth about other stuff. This is Louis Live at IsraelSportsRadio.com.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
This is Tamar Cass, and you're listening to Israel Sports Radio.
Shalom from the United States. I'm Gina Pitts.
Parrish Graham.
Mike Pitts.
Roosevelt Hall.
Mike Roy.
We're your friends from the Pro Sports Lives radio show on WAFS Biz 1190 AM. You're listening to Louis Live.
Broadcasting live from Israel. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Sports Drain Seat C, compression fit, UV protection, moisture wicking, anti-odor, and physique enhancing. Certified by the Circle K. Sports Drain is a revolutionary seat garment that features high performance properties and a compression fit, offering the wearer ultimate comfort and style for sports and everyday wear. Custom logos and team jerseys are available. For orders, please visit TamirGoodman.com. That's TamirGoodman.com.
Broadcasting live from Jerusalem, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Support Barak Netanya, Israeli professional basketball team, as they give back to the children of Netanya through Netanya Hoops for Kids. Netanya Hoops for Kids serves all of the children of Netanya, especially the ones that need us most. Through basketball clinics held by professional players, at-risk children learn life skills like teamwork, communication, discipline, and community responsibility from real-life heroes. Netanya Hoops for Kids partners with the municipality, schools, and local nonprofits to bring thousands of children to basketball games each season. Join us as a donor, partner, or fan. One city, one team, one family. www.netanyahoopsforkids.org.
The biggest names in sports are all on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music, and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
This is Dimitri Salita, and you're listening to IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com. You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
This is Tamar Cass, and you're listening to Israel Sports Radio.
Shalom from the United States. I'm Gina Pitts.
Parrish Graham.
Mike Pitts.
Roosevelt Hall.
Mike Roy.
We're your friends from the Pro Sports Lives radio show on WAFS Biz 1190 AM. You're listening to Louis Live.
Broadcasting live from Israel. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Sports Drain CC, compression fit, UV protection, moisture wicking, anti-odor, and physique enhancing. Certified by the Circle K. Sports Drain is a revolutionary CC garment that features high-performance properties and a compression fit, offering the wearer ultimate comfort and style for sports and everyday wear. Custom logos and team jerseys are available. For orders, please visit TamirGoodman.com. That's TamirGoodman.com.
Broadcasting live from Jerusalem, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Support Barak Netanya, Israeli professional basketball team, as they give back to the children of Netanya through Netanya Hoops for Kids. Netanya Hoops for Kids serves all of the children of Netanya, especially the ones that need us most. Through basketball clinics held by professional players, at-risk children learn life skills like teamwork, communication, discipline, and community responsibility from real-life heroes. Netanya Hoops for Kids partners with the municipality, schools, and local nonprofits to bring thousands of children to basketball games each season. Join us as a donor, partner, or fan. One city, one team, one family. www.netanyahoopsforkids.org.
The biggest names in sports are all on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music, and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
This is Dimitri Salita, and you're listening to IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Back here on Louis Live, and our thanks to everyone in the 9 o'clock hour, NBA Dave. And before that, of course, we had Radio Mike from Kew Garden Hills. We're going to dial up Mark Gordon in a few minutes. But
right. That's so much New York that we have to switch countries now.
Yeah, pretty much. Get a little British going. Did you see any of the Euro, though?
I watched a little bit.
You did, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I found it interesting. I can't watch a whole game because I feel bad for the guy when he gets shot. I mean, falls down, flops, whatever it is. I mean, it's just amazing to me. So, I don't watch the whole game. I do find it's fascinating. The penalty kick thing is fascinating. That's how you settle a game. Which, do you know why the penalty kick?
Why they invented it? No, I don't know. What was the reason for that?
1968, apparently, in a World Cup match, I believe, Israel tied another country.
That's where it came from?
And they decided to flip a coin to see who won. And,
wow.
And Israel lost. And so I guess the deal was that after that, Israel suggested a penalty kick system. And that's what they went to. So, you can thank the Israelis if you don't like it. It's just another reason to hate on Israel, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, coin toss, huh?
Coin toss. So, anyway, to me, I've said this often. I'll say it over and over again. To me, truly, the best part of the Euro is kind of the build-up to it because, there's so much hype going in. And then the second best part of the Euro 2012 was watching England get eliminated.
Absolutely. Do you agree with that, Mark?
I do. I'm Israeli.
Mark Gordon, I heard as soon as they lost that this team is just not a good penalty kick team. How does that happen? You're just shooting at the net.
Well, I shouldn't really say this because I won't be welcome home when I go home in December. But England are a nation of bottlers. put them in front of a penalty spot and they'll miss. Put them in front of a tennis racket and a net and they'll miss.
Well, we saw that too this weekend. So, I know you took offense to my statement. Of course, then you just clearly declared Andy Murray a Scot instead of a Brit. But, what's going on with British sports? I mean, is there anything to watch? Cricket? Something?
Cricket, England are number one in the world.
Sure. Good thing you got that.
Yeah. We're the best test nation. We've just beaten Australia 3 times in a row and won 9 in a row.
You know what I was most shocked about the Euro 2012? When I was flying in, we flew in on Sunday, and of course the match, the Spain-Italy match, was on Sunday. I walked through the airport in Moscow, which is where our layover was, and asked probably 6 or 7 men from the age of 20 to probably 45 who won, and none of them could tell me.
Yeah, because Russia went out really early and they were very upset. So like British people, most of them switched off once they're out. If you're part of the tournament and you go home early, you tend to switch off a bit. It's a European mentality.
Yeah, I guess so. But, were you surprised that it came down to Spain and Italy, or were you expecting Germany to be there in the end?
I think from the beginning, there were 3 or 4 teams that everybody expected to get to the semi-final. There's an illusionist in Britain who bought his betting slip in where he showed he had the predictions of the 4 quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the finals, and he got it right. And it may be magic, or it may just be that it's predictable, really predictable. Spain are by far and away the best team, and we're always going to be there.
Now, are you go ahead.
And Germany are a solid team. We're always going to get to the quarters, the semis. There was no doubt about that. But, in recent years, they've been building up a young team. And I think a lot of the expectation around Germany is that none of the other nations have performed well 2 years ago in the World Cup. So Germany was seen as the most solid sort of option. But ultimately, they didn't get to the World Cup final last time.
Right.
That was the Netherlands. Italy were playing very quietly in the background, but had a new manager who had instilled confidence. And the European tournament is short enough that, a team can come out of nowhere and make it to the final or win it. Greece won it, I think, 8 years ago. 20 years ago, Denmark won it, and they didn't even qualify. They only were allowed in at the llast minute because Yugoslavia were kicked out because of all the problems that were going on in the Balkans. So it's a short enough tournament. There were groups of 4. If 2 get through, then it's like 2 knockout matches and you're in the final.
Right.
It's not like the playoffs in the NBA or the MLB where, Major League Baseball, where you have like 7 games.
We know what that is.
Through to the next round. Yeah. Here you've got 90 minutes and that's it.
We know what MLB is. They're going to
I just no one actually says that though, do they?
No, they say it. My other question is: Are you a fan as a soccer guy of penalty kicks as far as settling it, or should they just keep playing until they drop? Or is there an alternative?
I love penalty kicks. I mean, I don't love them being English because I know what's coming. There's some predictability about it. We could play the Faroe Islands or Israel and lose on penalty kicks. I don't know why England don't make more of an effort in these games to try and win it, because they seem to play for the draw because they know they're going to be outplayed by a more talented team who knows how to hold on to the ball, so they play for penalties. But I think we've lost 9 out of 10 now in major tournaments. Now,
going to penalty kicks, one of the more interesting or controversial, however you want to say it, and I guess what got my kids most interested is that Ronaldo was sitting on there watching as his team lost, didn't even take a shot, and considered, from what I understand, one of the best penalty kick players in the world.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
The story was that he was going to take the 5th penalty. So if he needed to score penalty number 5 to win it, they thought, let's have our best man to do it. If we get to a situation where we need 1 penalty to win, let's have this man do it. But unfortunately, they missed too many penalties before they got to him, so he never got the opportunity.
Right. Oh.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter where he plays. Even if he'd have scored, if the same two people had missed their penalties, Portugal wouldn't have won.
Right.
It's just the psychological argument that if he'd have scored and put another goal on earlier on, it would have made it easier for the Portugal and more difficult for the defending team. I don't buy it, but...
Right. Now, as far as... does this lead? Where does this take? Is this a kind of tourney for the World Cup coming, or does it really matter because it's 2 years away?
I think it shows that Spain is still the best team in the world. They've won it twice now, and the World Cup in between. People are comparing them with the great Brazilian sides, and there aren't many teams in the world that can beat Spain. So I think it's a good precursor. But it's as important, say, as the Copa America or the African Cup of Nations. The sort of just the continental tournament where the winner of that doesn't necessarily go on and win the World Cup. World Cup is a lot more to do with, where they play, that people feel more at home, what time of the year it is, how has the season been. I mean, a lot of the Europeans come there at sort of the end of their season, and they're really tired out, where people like Brazil, I think the Brazilian season works slightly differently, and it's going to be in Brazil. We're going to be hot favourites for the next tournament.
Now,
you can't see Spain not making it as they play now to the final.
Now, my last question for you is that, are you impressed that I've spoken for 11 minutes on soccer?
Well, I've noticed the silence from Mr. Louis.
This is like when Ari has a boxing guest on. I just leave the studio for a while.
Yeah, we had a boxing guy on Thursday, so that's what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not just an MLS guy.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's good to have somebody that can talk about soccer.
I don't know.
It's been very quiet for the last year without you.
Well,
it's like having Sonny without Cher.
Wait, but am I Sonny or Cher?
Louis is Sonny, definitely.
Oh God.
What do you mean? Oh God, Sonny hit a tree. Okay,
that's true. That didn't end up so well for you.
I'm talking about in terms of where they went after the partnership.
By the way, well, Andy does have a book coming out, and I can't even read. So,
wait, can I just say something? Because I'm being accused of hating British people. It's like 98.9% shtick. I just want everyone to understand.
8.9, I like that.
I just want everyone
to
clarify,
but still there's a little insult in there. I just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Because I think British people are funny to me in some sort of way, but especially when it comes to sports. And it all goes back, honestly, to when we were working at another station. There was a British guy involved. And all I heard about was how awful America was going to do if they drew the UK in that World Cup. And, of course, we all know what happens. The game came to a draw. And I thought it was really funny because what would you say, Mark, U.S. sports, soccer ranks what, 5th, 6th on the list?
I don't know. It depends if you take in your large Mexican population. I would possibly put it above NHL when you take in the population as a whole.
Right.
As opposed to those that are there legally.
So I thought it was funny that our 4th or 5th or maybe even 6th best sport, we were able to draw England. And,
weren't there people on Benny Huda swearing and stuff?
Well, there was that guy that kept yelling at me. I don't know why. I mean, I just started laughing really loud when the game was over. But anyway, I digress. So I don't, please, Andy Murray is a lovely guy. Any man that cries after a tennis match is lovely to me. And there'll be better days. The Olympics, you've got the Olympics in the UK. Is this like big time for your family back in the UK?
It's a good time for them to start renting their property out and making a lot of money off of tourists.
That's everyone I've talked to have said the same thing. Said we're leaving town. We won't be around.
No, I think it's really exciting. I mean, we have a sort of minor competition called the Commonwealth Games, which has all of the countries that we used to rule apart from America, and they come and they compete. And that was in Manchester 10 years ago, and it was nice. The city transforms itself; it becomes very international. There's something going on all around the city. I mean, there's always a lot of grumpy, miserable people who say, "Oh, I don't want to be here. It's going to be horrible." But I think it's a wonderful event to have. And there's a legacy afterwards that we have a brand new swimming arena, a nice new stadium.
Right, that's usually what happens.
I think it does a lot of good for the city generally. I mean, people in Montreal will probably argue with you that it didn't, and they're still paying for it from 1976. But I think it's good. I mean, the biggest hysteria in the British press about the Olympics in the last week was the fact that David Beckham was not selected to play for the British football team.
Right.
Now, why do you think that was?
Because he's not that good
Why?
anymore.
Because he can't play football anymore.
Right. I mean, because he's been
37. They sort of thought, we should have Beckham because he'll sell seats, and we'll have Beckham because he's such a nice guy, and he did so much to get the Olympics to London. But ultimately, the coach said, yeah, but he's no good at football.
Right. I thought he was going to help coach or something.
Yeah, but then the coach said, I don't want him. I've only got a limited number of coaching spaces, and I want to give it to proper coaches and not Beckham.
Do you think it has anything to do with the movie Bend It Like Beckham? Do you think there's any correlation to that?
Anything to do with what?
That movie Bend It Like Beckham. Maybe it was just that people didn't like the... I don't know.
No, I think it has a lot more to do with the fact that... Stuart Pearce wants to win the tournament.
Right.
He got overlooked for the England job, and then he got overlooked for the assistant's job and a coach's job as England manager, and one of Beckham's friends got the coaching job. So he wants to be like a winning English manager, because then next time the England job comes up, everybody will go, well, look, he won the Olympics. And you're not going to do it with all the Beckham hysteria around you. Right. You need a team that are together, that play together, and you don't want somebody who's got a bigger head than everybody else, who everybody else is focusing on. I mean, I suppose it's a bit different if you look at the NBA. The Heat won it, but there wasn't just one star in the team.
Right, absolutely.
There were three stars, and they were more of a team. You look at the teams that win sports generally. I mean, the Giants won the Super Bowl, and again, they weren't the favourite team. They didn't have the big names and the big superstars, but they were well coached, and they were a good team. And I think that's what they're going for, and that's why they dropped Beckham.
Who is considered the best British footballer right now?
The best British footballer is probably Wayne Rooney.
Is he really? Because he comes with some controversy and baggage, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, for the Euro 2012, he was banned for the first two games.
Oh, just that.
And then he came back, played one game reasonably well and scored, and then the game that we lost on penalties, he had a pretty bad game. I mean, the worst thing about Rooney, apart from his like of elderly prostitutes, is his hairpiece. He's 26 and he's got the worst hairpiece in the world.
At 26, don't you just go bald and just call it a day?
You would do. But I mean,
what I would do.
He's made a whole thing about it, and it looks like he's got a carpet on his head. I mean, it's sad to see it, and my suspicion is that it's a special AstroTurf carpet that gives him, heading ability, so he can score a few extra goals. But
it's not a rug; it's a weave.
I wouldn't say that in public or when anybody's listening.
Right. Well, no one's listening. It's just a conversation between the three of us.
It's just us.
Yeah. Don't worry about
us and whoever this chatter is that keeps saying that I hate Brits. So anyway, when you coming back to the U.S.?
Yeah. Wait a minute. All right. You're in Israel now. Well, sorry. Go ahead and answer Andy's question. Then I have a question. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I messed it up.
Oh, sorry,
that's why I was supposed to not talk.
My question was when. I know. Ari, don't get in the middle of a good interview. When
I can't cope with two questions.
I said, when are you coming back to the U.S.?
October, hopefully.
Oh, great! Right in time for the Yankees World Series.
Well, we'll see. They usually go out in the first round.
Spoken like a bandwagon. Anyway, Ari.
Well, I certainly won't be the Red Sox.
No, that's for sure.
Well, by the way, Mark knows his American sports pretty well.
He does.
I was very impressed. But we're in talks. I still have to negotiate this with David Klibnik, Jerusalem's comedian, about the fees and whatnot. But we're apparently going to have a roast of me, yours truly. Will you be here in the month of July? Will you be able to come and make fun of me?
It is the month of July.
Yeah, that's it. You're going to still, because you travel so quickly. I don't know if you're going to be here at the end of the month.
I'm hoping to be here for July. I'm leaving at the end.
Would you be able to come into Jerusalem and roast me?
See, that has a different term in England. Right? Roasting is not something you necessarily want to do.
Oh, is it like sexual or something?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, okay. No, I don't mean that. Like a comedy roast, an American talk. Like you come and you make fun of me, and everyone does, and then in the end, I make fun of everybody else.
I would love to make fun of you.
Okay,
it's difficult because there's no material.
Yeah.
Sometimes the material just writes itself.
Well, Mark's got the salad dodger joke, which is really good.
Yes,
I still love that.
I know.
And then the fact that you look like a homeless man.
Other than
People
that,
on radio can't see this. You do look like a homeless man.
I have a nice thick beard. It's thicker than when you saw me last. So.
And there's birds nesting in it.
Right. And he's got the same beard on his neck. So, it all works.
And I have a little gray in my beard now, too.
Yeah, you'll have to have a word with my agent. It will be the usual fee, and as long as I'm not moving apartment that day.
I can pay you the same amount I paid you to host the soccer show.
Yeah.
Wow. With all those royalties, too?
Yeah. I'm still counting the checks at the moment.
Czechoslovakians? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. We don't have any soccer questions, I think.
No, I think I'm good. I mean,
we can talk about something else. We love having you on.
Ari, ask a soccer question.
I want to hear it.
You want me to ask myself a question?
No, ask the soccer question. We want to hear one soccer question.
And We Are Marshall is not a film about soccer.
Well, it's Baccotelli? What's the star?
Balotelli.
Okay, so what's his situation?
He plays for the greatest team in British football at the moment.
Manchester City?
Yeah.
See, I knew who the greatest team was.
Yeah, and he can't get into the team.
Let me ask you.
Because he doesn't tend to stay on the pitch for 90 minutes when he's playing for Manchester City.
Oh, that's harsh. Let me ask you this. Where is the best place in Israel to buy a Yossi Ben Ayoun jersey?
I don't know. Will I offend any of your sponsors if I suggest anywhere?
No,
go ahead. That's fine.
I don't know, because I've never really bought one because he's never played for Man City.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would say the Shook somewhere. Someone will be selling it.
There is a soccer shop in the Shuk in Yerushalayim, so I'll have to check that place out. My son is dying for one, so he's an Arsenal guy. I get that, but he wants the Israel Yossi Ben Ayoun jersey.
Ben Ayoun's gone back to Chelsea, isn't he?
Is he really?
Mm.
Oh, great.
He's only at Arsenal for the year, and then he's gone back to Chelsea, and there's a new manager, so they'll see what happens with him. I think he could go back to Arsenal, but...
Great. He's the fourth player in my book to get transferred, traded, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, good times.
Right, you have him.
Kevin Youkilis.
Right, so the White Sox now.
Jordan Farmar and Jason Marquis.
Huh.
Yeah, good times.
When did Farmer get traded? Is that a recent one?
Yeah,
he went to Atlanta.
Who else is in the book? I might go down to the bookmakers and get some money down.
Most of them are American guys. I don't know if you'd know them. Omri Caspi you might have heard of. He may be on.
Yeah, he's at Cleveland still.
He's still there. I have a feeling he may be moving.
Yeah.
That'd be
fifth. Back to Israel.
Could be. We'll talk to Doobie Pitt coming up here shortly.
We're going to ask if Omri's going to leave?
We're going to ask him if Omri's headed from Maccabi Tel Aviv.
You never know. Yes. So what's... I guess before I wrap it up, how's everything going in your life? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, well, my wife left me. My house
sorry,
is foreclosed, but apart from that, it's all wonderful.
Well, can you blame her? I mean, it's you.
No, everything's good. We're moving apartment next week, finally.
Oh,
okay.
We're moving a whole kilometre across the city.
Nice, but that's to the nice side.
It's next door Holy Bagel.
Oh,
so
your
I'm
office!
really
Your offices at Holy Bagel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Haston has an office in Aroma.
Right.
Mark has one at Holy Bagel.
Mark and I actually were thrown out of Starbucks.
Oh, in America?
Outside in the cold.
Wait, I never heard the story. What happened?
Basically.
Oh, don't tell Ari. He wasn't invited, remember?
Basically, they closed around us, and we could see them closing, but we figured, well, why rush it? And then finally, they're like, you got to go. And so we left, but we sat outside.
I thought it's once the customer's in before they close that they just let them be, like a voting booth.
No. This is Starbucks.
So it's pretty corporate.
Yeah. All right, Mark.
Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We all got to get together.
That's right. Get your material ready for Ari's roast.
I'm looking forward to roasting him.
And
Yeah.
And you'll be the fifth person to mention the homeless thing. So
I shouldn't have given away my material.
It's too easy. All right.
All right, talk to you later, Mark. Thanks for coming on.
Bye-bye.
Mark Gordon, come on Louis Live here on IsraelSportsRadio.com. And, you know, I watch a lot of The Sopranos. There was an episode where they try to shake down this manager of a Starbucks. It's basically Starbucks. And the manager's like, guys, I don't know what to tell you. I can't give you any money. Every coffee bean is accounted for. They will see if there's extra money that goes away. So Starbucks is, you know, as corporate as it gets.
Yeah, didn't make it here in Israel.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's the coffee culture here. The coffee's good everywhere.
Huh.
I don't need some corporate.
I love Benji Lovett's. You ever heard Benji Lovett's material on coffee drinking in Israel?
No.
He's like, Nes Gadol Haya Po. I thought that was a commercial for Taster's Choice. Yeah, I'm going to rip on Benji Lovett for that. I'm sick of Benji Lovett's clean comedy. He's the only one, just because he's so talented, he doesn't need to swear like me and the other comedians. That's garbage. So we will make fun of Benji Lovett at the roast whenever that occurs. Still negotiations on that.
Is Benji a settler?
Because he settles for...
I saw Jeremy and Dr. Jazz were performing together this past Saturday night.
Oh, is that right?
That was in the newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I missed it.
Did you make it? You didn't make a show?
No, and my week, you know, that's how bad my week started. I missed the show.
Right. Right, it's tough. All right.
But it'll end well, because first of all, it's Shabbat. But on Thursday night, Moshav Band is playing, and you know I have a thing for Moshav.
Oh, this Thursday night?
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
At the Yellow Submarine. So I plan on attending that.
Oh, top out. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that sounds good. All right. Anyways, on the other side, we're going to have David Doobie Pick, who will give us some inside information about Omri Caspi if he is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers to Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Are we spreading just rumors here or what?
Pretty much at this point. And we will also, of course, talk about NBA moves. Dwight Howard could go for the Magic of the Knicks, and, of course, Steve Nash to the Los Angeles Lakers. It's Louis Live at IsraelSportsRadio.com.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
This is Tamar Cass, and you're listening to Israel Sports Radio.
Shalom from the United States. I'm Gina Pitts.
Parrish Graham.
Mike Pitts.
Roosevelt Hall.
Mike Roy.
We're your friends from the Pro Sports Lives radio show on WAFS Biz 1190 AM. You're listening to Louis Live.
Broadcasting live from Israel. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Sports Drain CC, compression fit, UV protection, moisture wicking, anti-odor, and physique enhancing. Certified by the Circle K. Sports Drains is a revolutionary CC garment that features high-performance properties and a compression fit, offering the wearer ultimate comfort and style for sports and everyday wear. Custom logos and team jerseys are available. For orders, please visit TamirGoodman.com. That's TamirGoodman.com.
Broadcasting live from Jerusalem, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Support Barak Netanya, Israeli professional basketball team, as they give back to the children of Netanya through Netanya Hoops for Kids. Netanya Hoops for Kids serves all of the children of Netanya, especially the ones that need us most. Through basketball clinics held by professional players, at-risk children learn life skills like teamwork, communication, discipline, and community responsibility from real-life heroes. Netanya Hoops for Kids partners with the municipality, schools, and local nonprofits to bring thousands of children to basketball games each season. Join us as a donor, partner, or fan. One city, one team, one family. www.netanyahoopsforkids.org.
The biggest names in sports are all on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music, and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
This is Dimitri Salita, and you're listening to IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Back here on Louis Live in our final segment, our thanks to Mark Gordon for talking some soccer with Andy. And I kind of listened a little bit. I tried to think of what I could. And now we're going to finish with a real sport, basketball. Our next guest.
I'm the one accused of hating Brits.
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
not really
wrong.
fair.
I love Luau Dang.
That Luau Dang was something else.
That Luau Dang is an all-star. Luau Dang.
It was a great conversation that we had with Mr. Dang when he was here in Israel 2 years ago.
We were, but it was, while it was great, the play on the court by Pops Mensah-Bosa.
Especially when he went one-on-one against Ori Caspi and ducked in his face. Still hear the dunk.
Posterized, and then Caspi just rained threes on him, as the kids like to say. But I was impressed with the British national team. And when we get Doobie on, we will hear more about the Israel national team who kicked off practice tonight. There's so much going on locally with Maccabi Tel Aviv. I think our boy David Blue retired.
Did he really?
I think I heard that rumor that at the end of the year he retired.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So maybe Doobie will be able to help us with that.
Also, Doobie had a great interview with LeBron James a few months back. We were very thankful to Doobie because we were able to post that on our site. You can still check it out. It's still there. So that was pretty good stuff.
Is that King James?
King James, right. What was the king we were talking about before?
Lundqvist.
Lundqvist, right.
Right, which we all know is not a king. But, the other thing I want to find out from Doobie is I want to know what Doobie thinks of all this nonsense over Lior Eliyahu and whether he really will ever see the sidelines of an NBA roster. Because, his rights went over to Minnesota, Jewish GM, MOT. I'm not buying it. Lior Eliyahu is a European player, in my opinion. But Doobie probably knows more about
Let's
that.
ask him ourselves. Doobie, what do you think about all that?
Well, first of all, next time you invite me to come on the show, which I'd kill to do, don't do it 2 hours before, Ari, when I can't make it to Jerusalem.
Oh, you wanted to come in? Okay. Wait, we could do it next week or something. Or
well, it's the first time Andy's here in a long time. Why wouldn't I want to come in?
That's right, Doobie.
This was a project that I was fortunate enough to be a part of at the beginning, the very beginning, and now it's escalating into one of the biggest things on, international radio networks, and I'm happy for everybody. So why wouldn't I want to be a part of it?
Good point, man. I apologize.
I agree with everything Doobie said, but I think he's avoiding bashing Lior Eliyahu.
About Lior Eliyahu, speaking to Maccabi sources and Lior Eliyahu's agent, the trade that went down with Houston Rockets, they're very pleased with it because Minnesota is a much more internationally recognized team. They have J.J. Barea, Ricky Rubio, Pekovic, who played Eliyahu last summer between the two national teams, and Pekovic and Kevin Love are kind of on a similar position, and you won't see that many valuable minutes. But for starters, it's a great trade for Eliyahu, and his representatives think the same. And he'll be playing with Landesberg in Minnesota.
Right. I saw that.
For Minnesota Summer League. Right. So everything's kind of coming together. But I personally think that if not now, then never for Lior Eliyahu in the NBA.
Right. I think this. I agree with you. I think this is the shot. He's certainly grabbed some headlines, and hey, it's time to shine on the court. Did I hear this? Because obviously being in the other part of the world, my entire Israeli/European basketball knowledge comes from your column on Eurobasket. Did David Blue retire?
David Blue kind of paused his retirement until January. he returned to USC to finish some courses and get some credits that he lacked on his degree. And, you know, a lot of it had to come down also to the financial situation and the fact that he wasn't being appreciated the way he deserves and what he thinks he should be making in Europe and Maccabi specifically. So it was an easier decision for him to make. Also the fact that his wife recently gave birth to his first son had weigh in his decision. But he said until January he's not making any concrete decisions to retirement. He'll weigh his options then when the time comes.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay, now this is something we've been debating a lot going to the NBA. Steve Nash goes to the L.A. Lakers, and Andy's calling that a Karl Malone move. And he might be right. I don't know. I'm certainly biased because I'm a big Steve Nash fan. But what are your thoughts? I mean, part of the reason he went to L.A. was so he could be close with his kids. I don't know if they necessarily are a title contender now with Nash and Kobe. Nash is 38 years old. But what are your thoughts in general about Steve Nash going to the L.A. Lakers?
Well, I don't really know how that's supposed to go down on court. You know, Nash kind of likes to hold the ball between 14 to 17 seconds. Kobe likes to bring up the ball. You know, Kobe's not the kind of guy for Nash to penetrate and then distribute to him. He wants to create for himself. I think if they keep Pau Gasol, which from the way things look they will, then the pick and roll is a huge advantage for them. But, you know, Nash and Kobe are two guys who like to have the rock, and I don't know how that is going to really go down. I would like to see him, you know, on the Knicks. I would like to see him on the Heat. I think that were better situations for him. But ring-wise, yeah, you know, Lakers are kind of probably going to be in it again. And, you know, no one has the hunger like Kobe does, so I guess he made the right decision for himself.
All right, and let's go some other NBA moves. Joe Johnson is traded from the Hawks to the Nets, partly to keep Deron Williams from going to the Mavericks. And the dominoes continue as Dwight Howard. He is looking at the Brooklyn Nets. At the end of the day, I feel like the Magic just can't put up with him anymore. What do you think? He's going to go out to the Brooklyn Nets and make them a formal franchise, a team that we're going to have to really look out and look at as a possible playoff contender.
Well, according to recent Twitter trending, you know, don't bite my tongue, but I think the Nets just traded half their team for Dwight Howard.
Whoa!
Kind of things are in the talks about that to go down.
Is that right?
I think with Joe Johnson and Darren Williams and the guys the Nets have, it's a great look for Dwight Howard.
Absolutely. Now, is that coming off the wire right now that this trade's going to happen?
I mean, yeah, I've seen it between 45 minutes to kind of an hour ago. In terms of Orlando, you know, we can debate whether they prefer to have Andrew Bynum or Brook Lopez, because Brook Lopez would be sent to Orlando if the Dwight Howard trade goes down. But who would you like to see for the Magic, Bynum or Lopez?
Oh, I would take Bynum in a heartbeat.
Well, there you go. You know, funny to mention, just because we're in Israel, we have to include our local talents. Who do you think will win his first ring, Steve Nash or Mayor Tapira at 37?
I think Caspi will get a ring before
either
Steve
one of
Nash.
But the Cavs. Okay, now we're getting word. It's a 3-team deal. Cavs are involved, but Omri's not involved, right? As far as we know.
To the best of my knowledge, no, he's not involved.
Okay.
Maybe he wishes he would, but he's not.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of Omer Moshe,
you're the only person who calls him Omri Moshe all the time.
What's the, you know, obviously not the season he wanted to have. What is going to happen with him?
You know, we have to wait and see.
What's he have
the fact
left
that he
on this?
won't really be playing summer league with the Cavs is kind of good because I don't know what kind of an impact that would have on his confidence. I think the summer tournament is great for Omri. You know, he's a superior European player, and it'll give him the opportunity to have the ball more, to play more valuable minutes, to be not kind of a role player, but more kind of a target main player. And I think, you know, that'll really do wonders. And he said repeatedly that this season he played with an injury and he wasn't feeling 100%. So, yeah, he shot the ball terribly. I'm not saying he didn't. He was involved in probably some missile shootings towards Ashkelon over the last season. But we'll see. You know, we have to wait and see.
What's the what's going on Now, were you out at the national team practice tonight?
No, I wasn't. Finals exams keeping me away from everything.
Oh, gosh. I hate when school gets in the way.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, early in the morning, you have to attend, but, life sacrifices.
What's I was talking to somebody, Stu Douglas out of Michigan. It looked like he was going to Maccabi Haifa. Now he took a contract somewhere in Spain. What other players are we looking at coming to Israel next? In the near future. Anybody you know of?
Foreign players or
American,
Jewish-born college American players?
We don't need Jewish-born. We just name players that maybe from some bigger schools.
I mean, if I knew the names, it'd probably be out by now.
Jimmy, I'm waiting for you to break some news.
Yeah, I don't know. It's early. It's really early. I think the European market is not as good as it was in the recent years, and the fact that a lot of people are asking for a lot of money is kind of harming the Israeli teams. And I think the fact that a few teams, including Maccabi Tel Aviv, sent their coaching staff and scouts to.
It looks like we lost Dewey. Hold on.
Maybe because you have 48 windows.
I think it was a conspiracy against what he was talking about here. Hold on one second.
I'm not buying into it. It'll be interesting to see where the money is given out, because right now there's so much talent out there. There's and who knows.
Sorry, Dewey. Looks like we lost you. Are you back on with us?
Yeah. You lost me. I don't know what I was saying, but I don't know where you lost me. I was saying that the European market is kind of hurting the Israeli teams because guys are asking for a lot of money, which teams don't have here. And I think the fact that a few organizations, including Maccabi Tel Aviv, have sent their coaching staff and scouts to the Las Vegas and Orlando Summer League shows, their intentions to pick up guys from there for next season.
I mean, Maccabi Tel Aviv has a lot of spots to fill, don't they?
Yeah, a lot of holes to fill. And the thing is, it's tough because they don't really know what they'll need to fill. They don't really know if Eliyahu will be here or not. They don't know 100% if Yogev Ochayon will be here or not. Things are kind of up in the air, and it's really hard for them to continue try and build their squad. But I think as of now, they made interesting moves, definitely some interesting moves. Ricky Hickman from Pesaro, played at NC Greensboro in college. He's a guy who's a great guard. He's a good defender. He likes to score. And he gave up a lot of money to play for the brand called Maccabi Tel Aviv. And that shows that not everybody, is after the dollar.
All right, what do you think about Brad Greenberg accepting the coaching position at Maccabi Haifa? It was a weird press conference. I don't know if you were able to attend that. Me and Raphael were on call for that. And a lot of the Israeli media were asking, why did you come here? You're too good for the coaching position. I know Maccabi Haifa certainly struggled last season. Brad's got a tremendous amount of experience at all different levels. He was a general manager in the NBA, in addition to all his coaching experience. What do you think he could do for Maccabi Haifa?
Well, I questioned that signing at first just because I didn't know who he'd pick as his coaching staff. Because the guy had never been to Israel. He doesn't know anything about the Israeli basketball, the players, who to sign, how to scout, what to play, what to guard. The Israeli players have a completely different mentality than those overseas. They don't work as hard. They like to go out. But when I saw that he kept his, the former coach is now going to be the assistant coach, and they also kept the second assistant coach, which helps a lot. I think, everybody in Israeli basketball can only benefit from a signing like Brad Greenberg, who, did wonders in the NBA. He was picked Allen Iverson for the Sixers.
Right.
So, what harm can that bring?
Right. Absolutely.
No, I think it's also good because you've got more and more American talent playing for these teams. So, maybe a mix-up at the coaching might help them out. Who knows? we haven't really talked much, obviously, lately. Just some, we take our Facebook.
Because you haven't called.
Our Facebook jabs.
Or Facebook me. What's up with that? You have me on Twitter, Facebook, you have my number, and you don't reach out, and now you say we haven't talked.
I kept unfollowing you on Twitter so that I could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you would have to take me out to coffee. But
no. Is that by mistake, or have you been following me and unfollowing me for like 20 times?
You know what? I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like every time I click on your name, I'm not following you. And so, like I said, I might as well win this contest you've got going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. But my question for you is, obviously, you're not a LeBron hater.
No, I'm not.
But you do love, and you were way out in front of this. Kevin Durant and Oklahoma City. What do you think is going to be the backlash, or what happens to Oklahoma City now with this loss? Do they regroup? I mean, what do you see mentally coming out of these guys next year?
Well, I just want to point out, Ari, that when I came on during the lockout, I told you OKC would make it to the finals.
That's correct.
And I wish you could play that right now for everybody to hear.
We have a tape somewhere. I have to dig it up. But it's true. You did call that. That is absolutely correct. I remember that.
Yeah.
But you had him playing. You had him playing the Wizards.
What?
But you had him playing the Wizards.
I had him playing the Wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because Jordan Crawford told me they'll make the playoffs.
That's because Trevor Booker told you when he was here.
I have to go with what Jordan Crawford says. I see his brother on a daily basis over here, and if I go against what he says, then good things won't come my way.
Well, wait, Trevor Booker, former Hapoel, never played Wizard. He knows.
Yeah, he was a Ben Asher run. He definitely knows. Book was trying to come out here a few times. I'm not sure he's playing in the summer league. If he is, and I think that kind of X's out his plans on coming back to Israel for vacation.
Yeah.
But about the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think it's a subject that's been chewed, too much, and they just have a problem with money. I guess they can't offer max deals to everyone.
Right.
James Harden is worthy of a max deal. Serge Ibaka is right up there with him. So, those are things that somebody has to cave in like they did in Miami.
I'm not so sure after seeing the finals, Harden is worth a max deal.
Yeah.
It was also his first time there. A lot of other guys choked. He's not the first, definitely not the last.
Right.
But he was a big pivotal point who brought them. He's a player who brought them there as well.
Absolutely. And this is just. This is no different than LeBron against San Antonio. LeBron last year. I mean, this team is for real. I think this team is what keeps LeBron from multiple titles. Not that he won't get multiple, but from coming towards Jordan numbers. Because I think they're just going to be too good. All right, who's your pick in tonight's home run derby in Major League Baseball?
I'm sorry, what sport?
There's
the American pastime.
Baseball.
Andy, what I saw about 10 minutes ago, a picture on Twitter that was posted by Sportando.net of a Celtics fan burning Ray Allen's jersey.
I'm good with that.
As a Celtics fan, what do you think of his... let's turn over this interview your way. As a Celtics fan, what do you think of him moving to Miami, and do you think that kind of helps their shooting ability if Mike Miller decides to hang him up?
Well, I definitely think it helps them. Look, I'm not one of those people. I don't think this is as bad of a move as we. Trust me, as Boston sports fans, we've seen many players go to the enemy. I don't think this is that big a deal. I do think this whole thing about Ray Allen's feelings being hurt is a little overblown. I mean, Rondo, now they're talking about how Rondo and Ray Allen never got along. Rondo was always the talk of trade rumors, Pau Gasol. I mean, if every NBA player or any professional player pouted every time they were part of a trade rumor, the league would look very different. I think it definitely helps their shooting. I don't think Miller will be back. I think he gutted out that game.
Whatever
5,
he had, yeah.
And, he'll go out on top. But I think, it should be interesting. We had NBA Dave earlier to see what his minutes are going to look like playing in Miami, because that could be the only thing that really, hampers him, I think, is his health and minutes.
Right. Mike Miller, I don't think he was a starter.
Right.
Ray Allen was recently coming off the bench for Avery Bradley, so he kind of embraced that role. But do you think he'll start for the Heat?
I don't. He may start early on, but I don't think by the end of the season he'll start. And it'll be interesting to see how Spoelstra uses him, because that is where Doc Rivers certainly excelled, was the use of the three old men. So it'll be interesting to see what Spoelstra does with them. I don't think, personally, in the end, I think it's LeBron James and everybody else, so I'm not sure it really matters.
That's what he proved in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No hater over here for LeBron.
No, I'm not a. I have no problem. I think the decision was silly, but you know what? Hey, I told Ari, I've seen worse things happen. Players cut, players traded, all kinds of things happen. So I'm not really concerned with that.
It brought $3 million to the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
I'm sure it's definitely one of the highest rated things he was paying that summer.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But LeBron also said, that if he could have, he would have done things differently.
Sure.
So it's not that he's standing by his decision and no, everybody's wrong and I'm right. That's not the case. So.
Right. And look, everybody makes mistakes. Westbrook and Durant dress like Urkel at press conferences. Everyone makes mistakes. So I don't think there's any problem with what LeBron. But whether he'll win 8 titles, I don't know. I hope so.
It would be good stuff. All right, Doobie, we got to let you go, but thank you for being on Louis Live here on Israel Sports Radio. Next time in studio, we'll figure out a way to set that up, and we look forward to seeing you soon, my friend.
Thanks for having me. My pleasure.
All right,
be well.
Take care.
All right.
David Dewey Pick from Eurobasket here on the program. And we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll wrap things up on the other side. It's Louis Live here on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
This is Tamar Cass, and you're listening to Israel Sports Radio.
Shalom from the United States. I'm Gina Pitts.
Parrish Graham.
Mike Pitts.
Roosevelt Hall.
Mike Roy.
We're your friends from the Pro Sports Lives radio show on WAFS Biz 1190 AM. You're listening to Louis Live.
Broadcasting live from Israel. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Sports Strain CC, compression fit, UV protection, moisture wicking, anti-odor, and physique enhancing. Certified by the Circle K. Sports Strain is a revolutionary CC garment that features high performance properties and a compression fit, offering the wearer ultimate comfort and style for sports and everyday wear. Custom logos and team jerseys are available. For orders, please visit TamirGoodman.com. That's TamirGoodman.com.
Broadcasting live from Jerusalem, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Support Barak Netanya, Israeli professional basketball team, as they give back to the children of Netanya through Netanya Hoops for Kids. Netanya Hoops for Kids serves all of the children of Netanya, especially the ones that need us most. Through basketball clinics held by professional players, at-risk children learn life skills like teamwork, communication, discipline, and community responsibility from real-life heroes. Netanya Hoops for Kids partners with the municipality, schools, and local nonprofits to bring thousands of children to basketball games each season. Join us as a donor, partner, or fan. One city, one team, one family. www.netanyahoopsforkids.org.
The biggest names in sports are all on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event to the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
This is Dimitri Salita, and you're listening to IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Building love of Israel, one sports fan at a time. IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Back here on Louis Live. The fun never stops here in studio. Now, before we go, I wanted to bring up an interesting point because Andy was talking about trade talks, that these guys are professionals, and you have to kind of suck it up when you're talked in the news. Of course, one of the reasons Charles Barkley left Phoenix because he was at trade talks in 1996, and then he went on national television during the NBA playoffs, called out Jerry Colangelo, basically saying if he was going to be shopped around in trade talks, he wanted to actually be traded, was traded to the Rockets, and a hatred began between the fans of Phoenix and Charles Barkley. I remember I was at a Smashing Pumpkins concert where Garbage opened, and the lead singer of Garbage, I forget her name, but she was it was done in America West Arena where the Suns used to play, and she was trying to say how nice Phoenix was and people were very hospitable, and she was trying to get the crowd on her side, and finally she said, Charles Barkley, F you, and the crowd erupted in a roar. So people were upset in Phoenix for a long time about those shenanigans, and finally Jerry Colangelo retired Charles Barkley's number because he's a born-again Christian and wanted to simply forgive, move on, and so it goes. But that is one of the times I remember where the trade talk actually caused a trade like that so vividly of our superstar at the time.
No, I mean, look, it's going to cause one with Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, his biggest mistake was why he said he would come back. When he made his decision, quote unquote. People and players moving is always controversial, whether it's the IFL or the NBA or the NFL. It doesn't matter. When a player changes teams, it's controversy.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if they do it in a dramatic fashion.
Right,
through the media airwaves.
Right, exactly. Whether it could be usually it happens with star quarterbacks or something in football. It could be a running back. Right, it could be a running back. It could be
this show. It could be ESPN. It could be anything.
It really doesn't matter. But, the bottom line is that, players' feelings getting hurt is as silly to me as owners' feelings getting hurt, like Dan Gilbert. So, it's just one of those things. It's going to happen, and it's going to continue to happen. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah, certainly not indeed. And that's the way it's going to be. All right. Before we wrap up tonight's program, I want to announce the guest we have confirmed for tomorrow. At 9:30, we'll have Clenari Carter, who's our Southern correspondent to the United States. At 10 p.m., we'll have our Philadelphia insider, Ari Bluestein. 10:30, we'll have Joe Robbins.
Oh, wow.
So we can do more boxing? We can do other stuff with Joe. Joe will give us probably more breakdown of this trade that's going to happen with Dwight Howard and 10 other players involved. Nothing is official yet, but it looks like it is going to happen. There's stuff to iron out some details.
Omri Moshe could be on the move, just
it's
as
possible.
Player number 5 in my book.
Yeah. Then your book would be officially, I don't know if you call it cursed, but you just know if you're in the book, you're going to be traded.
Oh, good point. I could like that.
And what you could do is that if there's a Jewish player out there that wants to leave his team,
he can contact me.
Yeah, and
sure.
You'll interview him, and then he'll get to leave his team.
No problem at all.
So they have Jim Rome Karma, and Israel Sports Radio had something like that.
Yeah, we did. We were accused of, remember?
Kai Brown accused us.
Accused us of the curse of Rusty Mike, I believe, when we were there.
Yeah.
And we realized that was a curse, so that's why we started Israel Sports Radio.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, the jokes never stop.
And then your book could be some type of karma of that you get traded if you're on or something.
Right.
I don't know exactly.
Huh.
But in any case, that trade...
Anywho.
Wait, who? That trade will probably be finalized, or at least we'll have more information on it. Sounds like three-team trade, the Cavaliers, the New Jersey Nets, and, of course, the Orlando Magic. So we'll have more information about that for you folks tomorrow.
Tamir Goodman is, praying right now. He's davening that Omri Moshe does not go to Orlando.
He needs it for his basketball camp,
that's the greatest thing that ever happened in that guy's career.
Yeah, that's for sure. I want to thank everyone involved on the program tonight. Of course, we had Radio Mike from Kew Garden Hills, who is not a fan of the Home Run Derby, believe it or not. NBA Dave, who, where do you want to start NBA Dave? He says that he's not a fan of going to see games in Brooklyn.
Right. You don't go to Brooklyn if you want to watch sports.
You go to New York City and do it.
That's right.
I have a funny feeling that a bunch of Brooklynites aren't going to feel the same way. I can see them now dribbling their basketball with their jerseys on the way to the arena. It's supposed to be a nice arena with the Russian Mafia guys.
He said you go to Brooklyn for yeshivas, good food, and his wife's from Brooklyn.
Well, they do have a better deal on pizza. I remember that. I remember it was 2002. I remember thinking pizza was like $1.50. I was shocked.
That's
so it's only $4 a slice here.
I don't know what that means.
Or 3 or 4. Mark Gordon talking soccer with Andy. That was some good stuff there. And saying I look homeless. So, and we'll give you folks more details on the roast when we figure that out. And of course, David Doobie Pick from Eurobasket breaking down Israeli basketball and some of the moves in the NBA. Stay tuned tomorrow for some great programming. But that's it for tonight. God bless. Say good night.